All right, guys. This is a kind of a quick little overview of me building my shop. It's the first thing this is the biggest thing I ever built at the time. That slab that I'm walking on there is 16 by 32, and I used a Harbor Freight concrete mixer to pour the concrete. And if I remember correctly, concrete or Portland cement, gravel, and sand, it took 775 5-gallon buckets. I kept track of it every time. I knew how many buckets of sand, how many buckets of gravel, and so every time I mixed Portland in, I put me a little dash mark on a piece of cardboard, and it ended up being 775 5-gallon buckets. And I did it all by myself, and every single day it rained, it seemed like. And as you can see, we got some hogs coming up here, and I most of the time I just work on Saturdays and Sundays, sometimes Fridays on this. So there's a whole week's worth of pictures in between. And these people that you see pulling up out here are friends of mine, neighbors of mine. That's 4 different ones you've seen there, and they're coming by and make sure I'm doing it right, you know. But that's my little dump trailer. There's some kind of a animal right there. I'm a deer, I believe. And but anyways, they come by and check on me and make sure I'm doing everything best I can. See, it's been a week since you seen me last time. I'm gonna just go here and try to do the best I can. That camera was probably 15 foot off the ground. And these deals you see out here, those are 1/4 inch thick plates of steel, and that's what my 4x4s are going to set into. Here's another one of my neighbors. He's making sure I got it all pretty level. He's making sure I did it right. He's a good guy. He's a really good guy. He just sold his cabin, and him and his wife just moved, and he's a real good friend though. I've done a lot of work for him. I think I stained his cabin and shop for him twice. He's a nice guy. He's just making sure I did it right. So here comes some night riders and some more pigs. There's some raccoons. Lots of wildlife down here. But when you're 14 miles from the nearest paved road, what do you expect? Some more raccoons. More neighbors. I used all my gravel, or as you can see, my gravel pile was getting pretty small, so I bought another load of gravel. Boy, that was not cheap getting that gravel delivered down here. It's 28 miles from the nearest highway down here. I'm knocking all the forms loose there, using the proper tool too, you know, an axe with a hammerhead on it. Let's just kick it up a notch. You can sure tell the difference between this camera and my other camera. This one has a lot better picture, I think. You gotta remember, I'm taking these pictures off of a TV screen in front of me here. So it's a little different. This little buck right here, whoops. Let me go back to him. There we go, little buck. But at the time that I did this little shop, this is the biggest thing I'd ever built. I mean, I'd built, you know, little things, but nothing ever this big. And one of my cousins, her mom and dad, had a 1890s schoolhouse that they had moved and made it into a 4-bedroom house, and they're both deceased. And she told me to go in there because the house is falling down and get all I wanted. And 90% of the wood that I used in the building of the building itself come from that 1890s schoolhouse, and it was free. All I had to do is go tear the sheetrock down and get the wood. And I'm setting up my saw here and getting all my tools out and getting ready to start building walls. And Mr. Larry showed up there. He got to come tell me how to do it. Nah, Larry's a good guy. He's a really good guy. He's really good about driving around and making sure nobody's messing with people's stuff. He comes by fairly regularly. And I enjoy visiting with him. But honestly, the only reason this camera is even going right now is I forgot to turn it off. That's why it's getting these pictures. Or I would have no video or anything of this if it wasn't for these pictures right here. And as you can see, there's a leaf falling down in front of the camera there. I got all the walls up and started on the sheet metal there, and didn't get a single picture of it, and I wished I would have, and I just didn't get any pictures other than these. And then there's the porch, another neighbor. That building is 16 by 32, and that front porch is 21 foot by 32. And there's a dump truck load of gravel. I traded him 4 ricks of firewood for 2 dump truck loads of gravel. I mean, not gravel, but dirt. And we're through with that part, and this is deer season. I forgot this was on here. We'll just go ahead and I'll show you some deer. There's a couple of, if I remember correctly, there's a couple of deer in here that are really worth looking at. Let's just go forward here. And I mean, this is way off in the sticks. This is 5 miles from where I'm sitting at right now. There's a, I'd call it more like a pasture road right there. It's a dead end road right there. And we're done with this one. And that's a little, like I said, a little bit of an overview on me working on my shop there. And thanks you guys for checking in. I'm going to see if I've got any more of these, and we'll put them up. You guys take care, and thanks for checking in.